Good morning. I have a good feeling about this morning. If you watched the last video, you know I was kind of struggling and frustrated trying to figure out exactly how much oil Panda has been using on this trip, and kind of getting a feeling of when to stop. I think I'm getting a pretty good grip on that now. It seems now we've gone through Washington and now through Oregon. We're almost to California, and really Panda's used about 6 quarts of oil doing that. So 3 quarts each state. Well, California is going to be a long ways down through California, but that's 3 days in, 4 days. We got 3 days in. Today's day 4. So I was kind of worried there that all of a sudden things got worse and it was using a whole lot, but I think it's kind of, I got it figured out. It was just a fluke. We'll be all right. I think I can go a good 100 miles and check it again and see where we're at. Now I'm a little more comfortable going a little further, but I still want to maintain that an idea and stop regularly. I can't run it out of oil. That'd be the end of it. So anyway, hopefully one of these days Panda will get a new engine, but that day's not today. We're gonna head to California this morning. Hopefully we have a good day. We can get another 200 miles in. We got just over 200 miles in yesterday. We can do that again today and start doing that consistently. We're gonna be all right. I was told that this way was flatter and easier going. We just came up a 6-mile hill, and this side is a 6% downgrade from 7 miles. And look at the mountains out there. I don't see anything flat about this at all. We have to have a talk with Ed when I get back, and Jeff. Beautiful ride. There's the sign, welcome to California. Okay, we made it to California. Hooray, hooray. Okay, another huge mountain. I don't believe it. I know I could have gone the way that we came in the Challenger and have less mountains. I'm going to have a talk with them fellas. That's okay. It's a new route I have never been on before. Panda doesn't seem to be handling it well enough. I'm glad we stopped at this rest area. It gave me a chance to, of course, check the oil. I'm kind of getting bored of talking about oil, but it's kind of the lifeblood of this trip. But we're changing course because 80 miles to the south, it goes from being nice and sunny and 72 degrees here to nice and sunny and 91 there. And I think my friends were right. I think this probably tapers off. It goes down into the what they call whatever valley, whatever. But that whole area from here on out down to Bakersfield is. I looked on the temperature map, and it's in the 90s. It's in the 90s, like 450 some miles down to Bakersfield, And then when we head east over towards, all the way over to Kingman, Arizona. All in all, wait a minute. From the miles, let me see. Actually, it's over 800 miles from here down to Bakersfield and over to Kingman. It's over 800 miles. And at the rate we're traveling, barely, just over 200 miles yesterday. So we're taking it easy on Panda. That's 4 days of over the 90-degree mark. And do I want to drive Panda in 90-degree plus weather? Do I want to be in 90-degree plus weather? Does Bella? There's a shorter, cooler way, but we're getting off the, change of plans. We're getting off of the route that we planned on, because of elevation, which hasn't worked out so far anyway, thanks to Ed and Jeff. Flat my rear end. No, I've just been teasing them guys. I know I've been complaining about it. I just been teasing them. Okay. They probably meant overall, for the most part, it's flatter. So probably the rest of the way is. But Ed did call me the other day, and he gave me a heads up. He says he looked at the weather, and he said you might want to look at that when you start getting down in that area. So that's exactly what I've done. Thanks, Ed, for the heads up. Yeah, I don't think it's good for Panda, Bella, or myself to go into where it's in the 90s for every day. No. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go shortcut down and around. I think that's Mount Shasta. And look, there's still snow on it. And it's the shorter route anyway. It is a shortcut. It's about 60 overall. It's about 60 miles shorter. I think the first 100 miles is going to be a little hilly. I don't know what to expect, but Panda's been doing the hills okay. She's been running good. We're far enough along the trip that it seems as long as I keep oil in her, she's been doing okay. I don't know. The idea too was that if we go stay on the interstate, if something happens, any towing service or auto parts store, that kind of thing might be more frequent and handier. But that way too, there's still small towns along the way, and some of them might be spread out a bit. Like I said, this whole trip's a big gamble to begin with, so we're just going to gamble a little bit more. And we're going to avoid the heat and change direction and go through the hills, I think. I'm guessing. Worst case, it might be a little hillier. I don't know. We're going. That's the plan. This is it. Exit 736. Taking Route 89 to Mount St. What is it? Mount St. Cloud, I think. Let's go this way for 89 miles. Over the river and through the woods. Well, there might be more hills this way because it's not the interstate, it's a secondary road. We'll also be able to cruise along at 45, 55. And we'll get to see a more scenic route. And more small towns. I like small towns. Turning out to be just a beautiful ride through the forest. Easy going. It's just really, really nice. I'm enjoying this more than the freeway. And it's just kind of rolling hills. We did go up and down one big mountain, but now for a while it's just been these gentle rolling hills. This kind of lowers the anxiety factor. Actually, I've been okay now here the last 2 days. It's a little bit more settled down about it. Panda's acting okay, and the more miles we get behind her, look at it. It's just such a nice view. The more miles we get behind us without problems, the better I feel about it. said Sheep Heaven Road. So that's where sheep go, over to Sheep Heaven. Who knew, right? I never thought about getting to see the fall foliage. I don't think we would have seen this going down through that part of California we was going to go. It's kind of nice. By the way, this has been Highway 89 that runs between Weed, California and Reno, Nevada. It's about 120, no, I think it's a little further than that. I forget where the GPS set to. But it's 120 plus miles, and so far we've gone about 90 miles and we have one stop sign. So you can barely count that. It's basically no stopping. Just a nice, steady, easy ride. Very scenic. I don't know if it's Lassen or Lacen, but it's a national forest that we're entering now. I'll have to recommend this route to others. This is a good way to go. And this has mostly been all 65-mile-an-hour speed limit, which to me is a little unusual on a... Don't usually see 65-mile-an-hour speed limits unless it's a divided highway. And we just been moseying along at right around 55, give or take a little bit. Easing on through the forest. We've turned left onto Highway 44. Said next service is 51 miles. Oh, we still have plenty of gas. We're good. An area where all these pines have burnt. It's weird that down on the trunks there's black areas where you can see they were burnt. And there's a sign back in, we called this the goat fire, I guess, but what's funny is all the needles. I mean, you know how flammable pine needles are. It's just odd that, you know, the whole thing's just didn't burn. Yeah, just a huge area. Goes over on the other mountain. We come up here, it's back to green again. Yeah, on the left there's, see all the barn marks. And with the exception of this last little bit where it's burned, this has been, it's just been really nice. It was been one of the most enjoyable. Oh, we gotta turn left up here. It's been one of the most enjoyable rides I've been on in a while. Just kind of relaxing. And just, you know, through the rolling hills, through the forest. Ooh, rumble strips. Rumble strips.
6 east for 7 miles.
Sun's starting to get low in the afternoon. I'm gonna check things out, and we might go a little ways longer to Reno. I think we're going to, yeah, we're going up here to Susanville, Nevada. I mean California. Oh, wait, Reno's 92 more miles. Well, we'll see. We might still do that today, or we might call it quits up here. So it looks like we're going to start running out of forest and be running in the desert here pretty shortly. See over on some of the other hills, they're not as forest-like as what we've been seeing. Getting closer to Nevada, we'll be back in the desert. What do you want first, the bad news or the bad news? There is bad news, but there is also good news. We'll start with the bad news. I pulled in here yesterday after that nice, easy drive. Panda was running great and everything. As I pulled in here, I pulled in by the Tractor Supply right around the corner, and when I came to a stop, all of a sudden I heard the engine starting to, make a knocking noise and and ticking. And I looked down at the oil pressure gauge, and it was on 0. Panda lost oil pressure. And from that drive through the forest, that was about 120 miles. It was only 1 quart low on oil. So I went ahead and I topped it off. I put another quart in it. But I mean, it has to get down really low for it to be not have enough oil in it. 1 quart's not going to do that. So I started it back up, and I gave it a couple of seconds, thinking, maybe, and no, it still, rattled, made all kind of noise. So I shut it back off. I left it sit for a little bit, not sure what to do, and I thought, if I got to get towed, or if I have to, if this is the end of the line for Panda, let me see, I'm just going to get it around the corner here to Walmart. It's literally just right around the corner. So I thought I'd just start it up and just go easy and get it over there and shut it back off. Well, I pulled out, and then all of a sudden the gauge came back up, and the engine quieted down and sounded normal. And as I got around the corner and pulling down into this parking lot, the gauge dropped back off again, and the rattling started. So, it's not the gauge. It is. I'm guessing the oil pump. Best guess is the oil pump's gone bad. So that's a major repair. That's to drain the oil out of the pan and get the pan off. You actually have to loosen up the engine mounts, jack it up a little bit so there's enough room to get the pan off, and then you can get to the oil pump and replace it. So that's all bad news, right? The good news is, as I just pulled in, I had just shut it back off and swinging the door open, and a van came pulling up. Here, a subscriber of both Aja and my channel recognized Panda and came pulling up and said, "Hey, that's Panda, right? And hey, you're Dave." And he says, I don't know what, maybe I had a distressed look on my face, because he asked, well, is everything all right, or how you doing, or I don't know. But I said, not very good. I said, the oil pressure just went out. Well, here, his son's a mechanic. He works in a garage just up the road, and he called him down. We all kind of talked about what it did, and everybody's in. And I called back to and talked to my right-hand man, mechanic Scott, and it all points towards, it's probably definitely that oil pump. It just can't be anything else. 99% sure it's the oil pump. Okay, there's always that 1%. So that's the general consensus on it. So the good news is, today, here a little bit later this morning, we're gonna have we're gonna take it up to the garage just up the road. Now, what happened was, after it had sat for an hour, I started it up. When he was here looking at it, he says, "Well, start it up. Let me double check." And all of a sudden it did have oil pressure after it sat for a while. So I think that oil pump's just it's just on its way out, and there's no way I'm getting back on the highway with it doing that. It held oil pressure. I only ran it for maybe not even a minute, and then shut it back off. But so I'm thinking that it's completely cooled down and rested and sat overnight. That this morning, I think the shop is only 3 miles away. That hopefully I start up this morning and it has oil pressure again, and I can just take it easy up to the shop and shut it off. Otherwise, we'll have to drag it up, or on the way, if all of a sudden the oil pressure drops back off again, I'm going to immediately shut it off. If I only make it part way, we'll have to get a chain or something and drag it the rest of the way. But yeah, thanks to a subscriber, Steve, and his son Josh. They're stepping up to the plate to help Panda in distress, and which certainly helps me, which certainly helps Aja. It's just all good timing, like it was meant to happen this way. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Hopefully we get this thing, Panda, fixed today. It's probably going to be a couple-hour job. Hopefully we're in and out, and this afternoon we'll have better news. For now, I got a couple things to do inside. I'll check back in when things get rolling. Okay, Panda's apart right here in the parking lot. Josh, which is doing the work, decided that, by the way, Steve and Josh showed up, and Josh decided it was better just to do it here in a parking lot rather than risking going up, driving it, and having the pump fail while driving it and doing any further damage, which I couldn't agree with more. So, we're all in agreement just to do it here is better. We found the culprit, and it is the oil pump. There's let me get out of the light here. When you turn it over, it goes so far. Okay, and then there's a tight spot. So there's a little shaft that drives it, and it broke the little nylon keeper that keeps the shaft on the pump. I forgot I should have recorded a little bit more. Steve and Josh just left the bounder. Panda's all back together and has oil pressure back. And with that brand new oil pump, it's more pressure than before. So that old oil pump was certainly worn out. Now we have better oil pressure. We have all brand new oil in it. And I don't know, it's nice to have, I just can't thank Steve and Josh enough. I told Steve, I'm so glad he went to Walmart yesterday afternoon. So that was just such a stroke of luck, running into the right people at the right time, and the right people, helpful people. Thanks again, guys. So we're going to be back underway here soon. It's mid-afternoon. I might just exercise it around here. Good, look at a couple things in town and just double check things and before we get on the big roads again. What a relief. All right, we're gonna go get on with things here. Okay, I'm really excited. Not only does Panda have oil pressure, but she has really good oil pressure, about 3 times what she had, and I decided not to travel until tomorrow. We just go ahead and let the day pass, stay another night here, and I think it's Susanville, California. We're gonna head towards Reno, I think, tomorrow, but I just thought to hang out here tonight, and I haven't had any hot food in a while. And I did. I got, been eating sandwiches and stuff on the road, and you start craving hot food. So I did get Cracker Barrel the other night or whatever. And if you want to call it food, McDonald's is right around the corner here from Walmart. So I came over and got a couple just regular cheeseburgers and fries and a Coke, and I got some chicken, some McNuggets too. Bella loves chicken McNuggets, so she's gonna be happy. We haven't had any in a while. Yeah, even once in a while McDonald's is nice, not too often. I can't handle it too often, but I do like it once in a while. But yeah, just kind of exercising Panda a little bit, and the oil pressure's fantastic. Yeah, I have my optimism back, but we're gonna head back over to Walmart, eat our dinner, and then probably gonna be heading out sometime in the morning toward, like I say, towards Reno. That's gonna be it for this video. Won't get there yet. Thanks for coming along today. We'll be back on the road tomorrow, and we'll get this job done yet. You'll see. I'll see you.